subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And a bunch of news again, amazingly. I just realised it's the Gallifrey 1 convention, which is where all this news is coming on. I was like, why are we getting so much news when nothing's going on? The Gallifrey 1 convention is going on in Los Angeles. So, you know, I guess if you can navigate over all the human feces and the general destruction of society that is Los Angeles right now, Los Angeles in 2022, you could go to the Gallifrey 1 convention and talk with Doctor Who stars, maybe, which is one of the first things we're going to be talking about, right? Not all going down smoothly there, from what I understand. Right, before we get into this, can you hit the like button? That'd be really nice, really genuinely, that'd be very nice. Thank you very much. Can you hit the share button? Now, this takes a little bit more work, because then you've got to find somewhere to share it to, but that'd be really, really nice too. Can you hit the share button? Can you hit that subscribe button? That's the one I really want. I mean, I don't know why. I just like getting more subscribers. I just broke 3,400. I mean, I'll probably go up and down, but that was kind of nice. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. If you're subscribed, please make sure you're still subscribed. YouTube does merrily peel people off me every day. For some reason, I really don't know why. I honestly, it seems to me that I should really be below anybody's radar, right? I'm sitting in my basement screaming essentially about Doctor Who, comic book, Star Trek. It seems like I should be, but no, there is no dissent allowed. Anyway, but thank you very much, YouTube, for giving me the platform. So like, share, subscribe. If you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching me on Rumble, hit the Rumble button, which is much more fun to say than actually do. And finally, subscribe to my Substack. Substack is my email newsletter. It's kind of like a Twitter replacement. I send out notifications about all my content. Plus, I put a bunch of comics on there. My comics and classic out-of-print comics. Again, I'm doing the Blake 7 comics from the, I guess, the 80s. Yeah, the 80s Blake 7 magazine. But I will find other stuff because I'm really, really enjoying doing it, right? I'm enjoying reading them. That's essentially that's my entire channel, right? That's everything I do. Oh, I like that, so I'll do a bit of that, right? That's my entire market research. Do I like it? Am I pissed off about it? Then that's what I'm going to be doing stuff around. So I've just given the secret to start your own YouTube channel. And honestly, I recommend it so strongly, right? I recommend it so strongly. The more voices out there, the better, right? I don't think we're competition for each other. I think we complement each other. And the more, and even if you disagree with me, right? Your opinion, and this is something that's really, really a central truth, I think, of YouTube. Is that your opinion matters. Your opinion, you've invested a lot, whatever it is, into Doctor Who, whatever. Your opinion matters, and your opinion genuinely does matter. In that vein, please comment as well. Let me know what you think. I always try to reply to all comments. Replying to reply, not so much. And I really want to, right? If I catch it, when it comes in, I will do it. I'm just, I'm only human. I'm only flesh and blood, baby. Right? Like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, and also sign up to my paid Substack, which I hope by the time this goes out, I'll have some content out on it last, because whoa, I've had a busy month. I'm not going to go over it again, but I have had a busy month. Fine, let's start talking about the Gallifrey 1 convention. Well, let's talk about fandom in general. Now, fandom is not in a good way, right? And that's really, really my way I look at it. Fandom is not in a good way. And we've always had disagreements in fandom, and that was kind of the fun bit of fandom, because, like, you could disagree violently, well, not violently, vehemently, over a story, an era, whatever, I remember, I remember when I was at a convention in the 80s, right, and the guy in cosplays a Hartnell, I don't know how it came up in conversation, but he was talking about some naughty National Socialist war criminal from World War II, German National Socialist war criminal World War II. He said, I think it should be let out of jail. I'm like, really? Did he know I was Jewish? I don't know if he, maybe. I don't know. I was young at the time, right? And it was just like, it blew my mind, because that's not something I'd ever really personally heard before. I was like, But you know what? We had a drink together, and we what was it? What was the story we bonded over? Dalek Invasion of the Earth, right? Which was very, very much about, occupation and like, that sort of. By the way, I love that and I wish they would do this more, right? I wish they would do this more in current Doctor Who. I love that the Dalek in charge had a psychopathic animal pet. What was the name of that thing? Right? They did a special extra with it on the DVD. DVD release was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I can't remember the name, but I really, really like that, right? I kind of like to that, and that's what fandom was about, right? You can have people who had different opinions about different things, and we all love Doctor Who, right? We all love Doctor Who. That should be the bridge to bring everybody together, right? Not current fandom with the current era, because just about every fandom has been invaded by the same type of people. Who just hate anybody who's not like them. A dislike of the unlike, as Ian Chesterton very, very wisely said. Like, what better way is there of describing bigotry, right, than a dislike of the unlike, which is what it essentially is, right? And that's been Doctor Who all the way through, right from the beginning. And then, this group of fans came in who I don't even think they liked the show that much, right? Or maybe they did, but they're much more into, like, this cultural divide, this cultural war that we have, I think, dividing us, right? I think it's throughout all of society. I just don't think it's real, frankly. The things that the differences, and we're heading towards civil war, as a lot of people think that America is currently in a cold civil war, right? Which is an interesting theory. But, that which unites us is about 98% of things, and that which divides us is very small, right? And the bridge for that was always fandom, and it's one of the many things that have been destroyed in this current era. Because, I don't know. Listen, I maybe the whole generation being raised with participation trophies, that didn't work out so, because there's no ability whatsoever to interact with anybody different than you. And then so you have somebody comes in, a Doctor Who fan says, I don't think women are an oppressed minority in the Western world. They see you as being pure evil, right? And you are going. They can't deal. They can't deal even with your objective facts and point of view, right? There's no agreeing to disagree. There's no agreeing to differ. There's just I'm right and you're evil, right? And that's essentially, again, I think you just get sociopaths when you raise kids to never be wrong, which is what we're seeing here. So let's have a quick look at this from Gallifrey 1. Because very much, I think just about every organized piece of anything, right, has been taken over by this very small group of people who want to cast a large shadow and say they're everything, including Gallifrey 1 by the looks of it. So let's look at this this tweet about it. It says, "We need questions screened and mics cut. Both perchance, both perchance, hashtag Galley1. I'm not being funny. You're not, mate. You're not. Okay, and I say this in a lot of my videos, speaking of somebody who has very recently recovered from a lengthy mental illness, which, mental illness and mental breakdown, right? Speaking of somebody who has recently recovered from that, you're bonkers, mate. Okay, you're bonkers, McBonkers, let me tell you. I'm not being funny. Give the audience unmitigated ability to ask questions. It's also, like, violent. No, it's not. If Matt Strevens, apparently who was there, was asked a question like, how did you screw up so badly? Like, how did it go so bad? Like, which is a fair question, right? And there's a lot of okay, that's a harsh question, but you could ask lots of things, like, what was the wisdom between the, do you understand how awful it was for most fans, the scene with Jodie Whittaker not helping Graham and being socially awkward, right? Do you have any idea? Like, I don't think this era understands heroism, right? Basic heroism. And I think there are a lot of real conversations there, and a real interesting conversation there, but they can't have them because this type of fan has egg all over their face because it failed beyond failed. Just as everything on that side of the fence seems to be failing completely right now, and they're not dealing that well with it. Again, have you seen Canada? Right, really, Canada or Chatham Square? It's very similar to me. Although I have to tell you, watching Canadians get upset with each other is it just feels like I'm watching South Park, right? It does. Like, hey, there, you want to stop doing that, guy? Hey, don't do that. Oh, you're pushing him, eh? And it does. It just sounds like South Park to me, and it makes me giggle. I giggle at inappropriate things. That's just what I do. Okay, I'm sorry. I try not to. I really, really try not to, and it always gets me into trouble. Violent. This is for all cons, but the right of the audience to not being cut off forces the talent to engage in a way that is uncomfortable to watch. Your discomfort is meaningless. I mean, like, nobody said, I'm going to wake up and I want you to be I'm sure people do wake up thinking that, I'm sure that's not a common thing. People but like, your discomfort doesn't trump people's basic freedoms. And look, I agree, nobody should be rude, right? Somebody takes the time, even if they're being paid to come to a convention, they take the time to do it. You shouldn't be rude. But I think these are fair questions to ask, right? I just do. And the fact they don't want them asked there's an indication of quite how badly they've done. They're graceful and killed it. Like, they had all those questions gracefully, but they shouldn't have to. No, you really should. I'm sorry. With the destruction that you've done to Doctor Who, you really, really should have to answer these questions, right? Yeah, I think so anyway. Those questions. And look, maybe I'm wrong, because I didn't hear it. I don't know, right? But it sounds like this is the way I'm interpreting it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? If I'm wrong, I will apologize and say I got this wrong. But screen question, limit ask, and just make sure folks are having a good time. Listen, you not being able to cope doesn't necessarily mean you're right, right? Just because you're offended doesn't make you right. And offense is such an important thing. So yeah, let's look at these things that people may have been asking. So Matt Stevens apparently were there. Doctor Who producer didn't know a show would be renewed after Jodie Whittaker. I didn't think it would be renewed. I think you absolutely destroyed it. Weren't we all a little bit surprised that Rusty Davies came back, right? And I still believe that 2017 interview, it's on my channel. I'll try and put it in the video notes. That 2017 interview that Rusty Davies did before Jodie started, saying if she fails, it's going to affect everybody badly, right? It's going to affect everybody negatively, even David Tennant and Christopher Eccleston and Billy Piper. By the way, just finished the Eccleston box set from Big Finish. Not the best one, but pretty darn good. And another excellent two-part Sidemen story. Like, really, really knocked it out of the park. I'm recording my review next. It's probably going out the same day as this video. So head over to that next. But yeah, it's another good one. Big Finish have done well this month, right? Which I'm quite encouraged by. Doctor Who executive producer Matt Stevens reveals he wasn't sure that the show would be renewed after Christian and Jodie Whittaker's departure. Yeah, it's not quite like when David Tennant left and you could go, well, who could fill those huge shoes? It's not like that, is it? No. They destroyed it. They destroyed it! And I honestly think if you didn't get a Rusty Davies or a Stephen Moffat or some really huge person in the industry taking it over completely. Oh, by the way, I can't verify this at all. I got sent a rumor, but somebody working for Bad Wolf who was working on Flux, apparently 90% of the first episode of Flux was shot, right? 90%, and then Christian sent a redraft, meaning they had to reshoot most of it. He didn't realize how far they got. I mean, okay. Who'd have thought this would go badly, right? Fine. Doctor Who executive producer Matt Stevens has admitted he didn't know whether there would be another season of Doctor Who after Jodie Whittaker's departure. Now, do you remember when I asked that question and everyone said, you evil bigot, you just hate women? I just want to say as a side, I really, really, really like women. If I'm going to have a choice of, am I going to be on the planet of the women or planet of the men? Either sounds not good, okay? But I would much rather be on, the Amazon women with the Amazon women on the moon, okay? That's also, yeah, no, I super, super do like women, right? Okay, it seems to be a weird inference to make of that. Also, I have been married for like 30 years, and I have daughters, and I quite like all of them. I know. Maybe I'm just singling them out. No, actually, I'm not. There's many other people I like who are also women. I don't know where this thing is. Oh, not liking, and what a weird life it will be walking around not liking women. Literally, 51% of the population go. I wonder if you don't like black people either, because then you're really in trouble, aren't you? Okay, let's have a look. After Whittaker's Doctor Who, the world's longest-running science fiction, launched in 1963, cancelled by the BBC in '89, then relaunched. But by the way, do you remember when Stargate said they were the longest-running sci-fi show? They've been running like 11 years or something ridiculous, and Doctor Who was like, ran for 26 years. They said, oh, no, because we've always been in production. The Doctor Who production needs to take some time off. No! Shut up, Stargate. Nobody even remembers you anymore. And if you like Stargate, God bless you. I tried watching it. I just couldn't get into it. It was too cheap 90s for me. And I even tried the one that everybody said was much better. The one with what's he called again? The bloke who was the bad guy in a Pierce Brosnan James Bond movie. My man, I'm getting really myopic here. Okay, what's his name? He was in Cracker. I think he's the one who killed Christopher Eccleston in Cracker, wasn't he? And he was the bad guy in, I think, one of the best Pierce Brosnan movies, The World Is Not Enough. Right, the guy with the bullet in his head, but just made him imperviable to pain. By the way, if you get shot in the head, that doesn't normally happen. Anyway, he was like the English actor in the 90s, and he was often connected to Doctor Who coming back. So that one, right? That one, it'll set on the space. Didn't like it, okay? I'm sorry. I've tried. Same with anime. I tried. I just can't. It doesn't work for me. And, vive la difference. I'm not saying it's crap. I'm just saying it's on a different world to me that I can't, really access. Fine. The 63 cancelled, and then relaunched by Rosalie Davis in 2005. Since then, it's been a BBC flagship sci-fi show. It's been a BBC flagship show starring actors such as Christopher Eccleston, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi, and Jodie Whittaker. So it did pretty well for most of those people. Current showrunner Christian was proved a controversial figure among fans. Amongst everybody. Well, is he controversial amongst non-fans because they just stopped watching the show? Right? En masse, everybody. And it become the show, and I remember predicting this, and I love it when a prediction comes together. It's been the show that people like to rank on, and it is the show people like. It's like the new Crossroads. Although production has increased. Although the production value has increased, no, I disagree with you. Production value increased? I don't really think so. Right? I've been watching old modern Doctor Who, and it seems the production values seem as good or better than the current era. I don't know what to tell you. Production value, and I think it should be production values, not production value, as agrees. The writing has often been criticised, and there's been an over-dependence on poorly signpost third act twist. If that was the only problem, right? It's the lack of being able to write character. It was the lack of understanding of basic humanity, right? It's the lack of being able to write character. It all falls from that, right? It all follows on from that. The overarching narrative of the Chibnall era appears to be the timeless child, a retcon that established a let me just stop and say this out for a second. A retcon that took all the magic out of Doctor Who, restated the origins of Doctor Who in a really boring current day way, which is going to be forgotten forever, right? You're like, oh, it was just stupid. And again, very, very, very clearly done to make the Doctor less white and less male, which are two things which are evil and foreboding things to the current fans, right? They just, because they're insane. They're insane. And I think it's, again, speaking of somebody who has just been on the other side of sanity, I can say this with some authority, I think. So fine. The timeless child, a reckon on Cyber's Doctor being potentially predated the universe and became the base genetic pool code for the entire Time Lord race. Again, are all Gallifreyans Time Lords? The feeling I got was no. I always got the feeling that the Chancellery Guard weren't Time Lords, right? But I wouldn't tell you. You had Lords and you had people who weren't Lords. Chibnall's run is coming to an end. Oh, happy day. Both he and Whittaker will end their time on Doctor Who in this year's centenary special. Perfect way to see this out. Rusty Davis is returning, and he's promised a bold and experimental vision of the show's future. But he's also, again, according to rumor, when hiring people, want people who actively understand the 2005 version of the show. I don't think he's going to replicate that, but I think he needs people who understand what he was doing with that, which will be, reasonably exciting. Speaking of the Gallifrey 1 convention, Stevens has revealed that this wasn't guaranteed. No! Again! Listen, they announced they're leaving and didn't announce a successor, which means they didn't have one. I think. According to a Twitter user, he revealed the production crew didn't know whether there would be another series of Doctor Who. In fact, he was only told about Davis' return the day before it announced. Okay, here we go. And this is what it's all about. My utter relief was we didn't break it. And Jodie gets to regenerate, he concluded. Does she really? Is she regenerating into a 14th Doctor? I'm going to be surprised, right? Maybe. But you did break it. That you were worried about it indicates that you did indeed break it. Yes, you did break it, okay? That's what happened, okay? Yes, you broke it. Why? Because nobody would take it over. It was the hottest property on British television, right? And you turned it into radioactive slag. Yeah, it was just, you didn't do a good job. Okay, I think, let's just be real. That's not good. You haven't done well, right? If when you finish it, if you're given something, right, and by the time you give it back, it's significantly devalued, and you keep pointing around going, oh no, viewing habits have changed, and not at yourself, you're lying. You are lying. So yes, you did break it. And don't you remember, that was Jodie Whittaker, basically word for word what she said after her first episode there. I didn't break it. Oh, look, I got big ratings. I didn't break. Yes, you broke it. Oh, that's why they claim victory at the first minute possible, and they never, ever admit defeat. The BBC has never seen especially confident of change when it comes to Doctor Who. In fact, it considered cancelling the show when David Tennant ended his time as Doctor in 2009. Yes, because they thought nobody could step into Tennant's shoes. He did such an incredible job, and they were idiots and wrong, right? The reason they nearly ended this time is because you turned it into toxic garbage, right? Toxic garbage. Why did you turn it into toxic garbage? I'm gonna hazard a guess. It's because you were writing for this teeny group of fans, and look, they're on Twitter. They must know everything, right? What their opinion must be. No, it was not. All you idiots, right? In fact, this is what I would suggest. Everybody in production, every TV production, I would suggest do this as well. If you want to work for us, you got to delete your Twitter account and never go on it again, right? You got to get your head out your asses, right? Or out of Twitter's ass. And then maybe, we may have stories rather than platforms. That's really actually a good idea. Like if I ran the BBC, I'll say, okay, everybody wanted to work here, delete your Twitter account. Okay. Oh, and was it Julie Sompong, or whatever her name is, who has the box ticking chief? who works 3 days a week and gets paid a lot more than most other people. Goodbye. Like that entire department gone, right? But getting rid of Twitter would really do the trick. Okay, it would you get rid of Twitter, and also you can't read The Guardian, right? That's the new rules for working at the BBC. Oh, you don't like it? Oh, goodbye. In fact, they can do it in 2009. Stephen's comment definitely makes it sound as if the production team were aware the reaction to recent season had been mixed. They weren't mixed. We all hated it. That's not mixed. That's failure. Okay, the wrong word, darling. And ratings have been dropping for a while. Thus, it's easy to understand why he was concerned. Yeah, again. You were there behind the scenes. You knew nobody wanted to touch it. Why in the BBC, like, you had to get Vinay Patel to take over? I mean, you said he was stunning and brave and the bestest ever. What about Maxine Alderton? You said she was stunning and brave and the bestest ever, right? Why aren't the BBC scrabbling to get, because the BBC don't get a bloody say in it, because you did break it, right? The BBC are the distributor of the show now, and they have no creative control. How much more of an indication could you get that you broke it? Really? That's what you don't know. And his relief about the news of Doctor Who season 14. Yeah, it doesn't get you off the hook, right? You dodged a bullet, right? You dodged a bullet. Don't think that there wasn't a bullet. Okay, you dodged a bullet because you are lucky beyond lucky, mate. Entering the BBC would have been foolish to cancel Doctor Who. Their only real way of competing in the age of Disney Plus, and that Rusty Davies is interesting in competing in the age of Disney Plus. You should be bloody grateful as well. For all recent years have been troubled. Regeneration is the key to Doctor Who's longevity, allowing the show to reinvent itself and the Doctor's recast. Listen, I just think we're moving on. I think we're moving on. We may retcon this away. We may not never mention it again. I think we're just moving on. Right? I think that's what's going on. I think we're moving on. What matters principally is the BBC has hired a showrunner with vision. They didn't hire. No, that's not what happened. They didn't go and hire somebody. They lost control of it. It got taken away from them because they screwed it up. Okay, so get into reality. The future of Doctor Who may have been in more doubt than anyone realised. I realised, but it's secure once again. Is it? Well, it is secure once again. It's secure once again to do more insane amounts of damage, okay? Because over here we have Stevens confirming Dr. Ruth will return. And let's double down on everything. And believe me, I think we're going to get a bit of a nod to the ongoing storylines in Legend of the Sea Devil, or Legend of the Sea Devils, whatever they call it. I think we're going to get a bit of a nod to it. But I think that final episode is going to be lore heavy, Chibnall lore heavy. And he's going to justify it by saying, oh, but look at Matt Smith's last episode, which was very lore, and it is very lore heavy. I just happen to like the Matt Smith lore, quite frankly. So I was pretty happy with it. So yeah, all that stuff that everybody hated that made it, that broke it. Let's do a lot more of that. So let's see what it's going to say. Doctor Who executive producer Matt Stevens confirms Joe Martin's Ruth will return in the upcoming specials, making them even more exciting. I mean, it's exciting for me. Don't get me wrong. It's good news for me because whenever they do something stupid, my viewers go up. Okay, I get more subscribers. Okay, when Doctor Who is running, my reaction videos get between 1,000 to 3,000 views, right? They do very well, right? They do pretty well. While Doctor Who isn't running, my videos get like 500 views, right? 500 to 1,000 views. So look, this is just great news. I'm just really hoping that people liking Doctor Who under Russell T Davies will be as popular as people hating Doctor Who under Chris Chow. Because I really like Doctor Who, right? I really hope you're going to like Doctor Who with me. And I really hope I'm going to like that Doctor Who, right? So, and I might be wrong, who knows? But it's looking better every day. It really is looking a bit better every day. Doctor producer Matt Stevens has confirmed that Joe Martin's mysterious Ruth Doctor will return in the next two specials. It should be with it in both. I can see the ending on a cliffhanger with Dr. Ruth showing up. Said, "Oh, now we got to answer all the questions." Da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum. Doctor Who season 12 radically transformed the Doctor's status quo, revealing an enigmatic time traveler that is not a Time Lord at all. That she's not a Time Lord at all. She's rather the timeless child of being who may well predate the universe. It's just garbage. What's more, the season introduced a so-called fugitive Doctor played by Joe Martin, who's been confirmed to be a pre-Hartnell incarnation. Will it stick? And again, are you really telling me? Okay, look at the screen. Look at this picture. Are you really telling me that her casting was colorblind and without a gender? Are you really telling me that? Come on! I don't think for a second you considered anybody other than a black woman, right? And again, it's not like I'm saying, "Hey, black women, I don't want to see them." Okay, it's like I just can't get my head around that attitude, right? No, it's like I don't like human being used as your purse puppies, you evil, two-dimensional, sick bastards, okay? That's essentially where I am with it, okay? I think it's disgusting, I really do. And you feel, and the only thing more disgusting is how good you feel about yourselves, how much you preen yourself. Oh, look at us. Oh, look at us. We're so good. Sometimes we're so good. It actually hurts me. It hurts me. I'm that good. And I can feel it dripping out the bloody, I don't know, screen. It's so disgusting. Who's since been kind of pre-William Hartnell incarnation. Piss off. Jodie Whittaker's 13th Doctor first encountered Martin's Doctor when she was living on Earth under the identity of Ruth Clayton, which is why a lot of fans have taken her call her Ruth Doctor. No, I call her Dr. Ruth to conjure up pictures of Dr. Ruth Weisenheimer, whose best guess is a little Jewish woman who's a sex therapist. Who's basically, it's as funny as that sounds, okay? It's like she could either have been a real person or a character on the League of Gentlemen, not League of Extraordinary. I mean, like, it is as funny as that. And if you want to see a great comic book appearance by her, The Dark Knight Returns, the Joker comes out of a catatonic trance in the future, which will be now, I guess. We're living in the future, and goes on the David Letterman show and kills everybody, but first hypnotizes people with his hypnotic lipstick, much like River Song. But you have this great scene where he's on with Dr. Ruth, and he gives her a big kiss, and then she's like, "Yeah, people say on sex, on sex, on sex, on sex." And one of the funniest things I've ever seen in a comic book, because it really is Dr. Ruth. That's why she's called Dr. Ruth, okay? It's to take the piss. Why do we want to take the piss? Because it's good. It's very good to take the piss out of things that are evil and stupid, right? Which is, I think, both. This decision can be classed as evil and stupid. The Doctor gradually learned nothing about this incarnation, right? Let's just say it over again that they met in that episode. And Jodie Whittaker didn't recognize her, so she figured she must be from Dr. Ruth is from a future. And Dr. Ruth didn't recognize Jodie Whittaker, so she thought Jodie Whittaker must be from the future. What's going on? We don't know. And they just said, "Oh, bye then. We're not going to try and work it out." I mean, what? Why didn't you just look at the TARDIS console, look at your records of where you've been, right? Look at your browser history, and I think you can work out where you are on your timeline, right? It really. I don't think this would have been an impossible thing to work out. But you didn't give a crap. Why didn't they give a crap? Because they can't write stories, right? I mean, like, they just can't write the basic cause and effects. You know, they don't think things through. But because they're idiots. The Doctor actually learned nothing about this mystery. Had worked for a covert organization called the Division. Another crap piece of Chibnallness. I mean, listen, CIA had so much fun life to it, right? The Celestial Intervention Agency, the Division. It's so boring, right? Like, it's like it's as if they take a charm. What's it called again? They take a charm sucker to suck any charm and life out of Doctor Who, which is Chris Chibnall's Doctor Who. and had only rebelled against them, attempted to hide an urge using chameleon arts to pretend to be human. There's still a lot of unanswered questions about Dr. Ruth, some which will be explored in the upcoming Doctor Who comic. Leave me alone. We're going to talk about Doctor Who's origins. That's a really smart idea. Let's do more of that. Let's kind of get much smarter. But it seems her story, hasn't been relegated only to comics because she'll be returning to screen later this year. Big surprise. Speaking of the Gallifrey 1 convention, Doctor Who's executive producer Matt Stevens and Joe Martin herself confirmed. Listen. If anyone's asking Joe Martin a rude question, I think that's a bit mean. I think Joe Martin, Matt Stevens, Chris Chibnall, Jodie Whittaker, and Chris Chibnall, Joe Martin is the most blameless person out of all of them for this utter disaster. She came in, she was given a job, and she did it, and I think she did it reasonably well, right? I can't say that about any of the other three people. Joe Martin's confirmed the story was on. According to Twitter user, the next two Doctor Who specials were shot largely alongside Doctor Who Flux, so Stevens and Martins are undoubtedly referring to those. The spring special appears to be a historical adventure focused on the Sea Devils, and that's mainly focused on Asian people because the latest insanity, you can always tell what they're writing because the latest insanity. The latest insanity was at the time of writing that Donald Trump was evil, which is all going on, and there's been a lot of anti-Asian hatred because he said that COVID comes from China, right? Which it actually did, right? I mean, and probably from a lab leak, which it almost certainly did, right? That seems to be the overwhelming opinion right now, even though, everybody said, no, you're wasted. But they said, and that's why we're getting this huge uptick in anti-Asian racist attacks. What was really going on, right, was the same people who were, same politicians, I should say, that were, I don't want to call them people, who were saying that Donald Trump was a wicked racist, was screaming to the black communities of America that they were oppressed and not being given a fair crack at anything, but the Asian people were. Asian people were given a super fair crack of everything, and so most of the anti-Asian violence is by black people, and it's just a factual statement. In fact, I would say 70% of violent crimes in the Bay Area were black people attacking Asians. I mean, that's just a statistic. And am I saying that black people are intrinsically racist? Of course not! Oh my God, stop being so stupid! I am saying that black people are human beings. And human beings are often rolled up into a frenzy of self-destructiveness for nefarious ends by evil people, right? Have we ever seen that happen before? I think that's happened to white people as well. Do you remember World War II? A little bit like that, right? That's what happened too. I think people are, generally speaking, people, and we all share the same character traits of being human freaking beings. Excuse me for what's the word I'm thinking of? Pontificating. Before pontificating, but that is what I think and feel on the matter. So that's why it's going to be an Asian set one, written or directed by a first-time Asian director or writer. I think writer. But having said that, the first-time director for even the Daleks, I thought, did an excellent job with a really bad script. But I thought they did a really, really excellent job on moving that along. I would love to see that director be carried over and hired by Russell T Davies. So I really think the lighting. There's a lot about that I thought was really, really strong. Other than the scripts and even the performances weren't bad. But again, you kind of stuck with those scripts, aren't you? Anyway, featuring the Sea Devils on the classic series, and this all likely refers to the BBC. What? The spring special appears to be a historical adventure focused on Sea Devils creatures from the classic series. So this likely refers to the BBC Centenary special that will serve to wrap up the current showrunner Chris Chibnall's tenure on the show, where he did indeed break it. That happened. So it makes sense that they want to resolve Joe Martin's Dr. Ruth while telling Whittaker's regeneration story. Okay. Modern portrayal of the future Doctor has delighted fans who were... No, it hasn't! Oh, okay. Okay. If I may say, if I may interject and tell you an old joke, right, which this reminds me of. So a person dies and he goes to hell, right? And so the devil's there. He said, okay, good news for you. You get to choose which room you're going to be tormented in, right? So he goes, shows them the first room, and people are in a pit of excrement, human excrement, up to their neck. Still better than watching current Doctor Who. And they're like, smells disgusting, flies everywhere. They're, okay, this is room number 1 you can go into, right? And he goes, okay, can I see room number 2? Okay, so he takes them room number 2, and they're up to their waist in human excrement. And he's like, well, that's a bit better. It's not good, but a bit better, right? A bit better. So he said, okay, before I choose, can I see room number 3? So certainly go to room number 3, and they're up to their calves. In human excrement! Like, just disgusting. The most filthy thing you can imagine. And it's like, it's not good, right? None of this stuff is anything I want to do, but I think I'll go for room number 3. So it goes in room number 3, right? So he's in there, he's wading around, the poop is like just disgusting. People are vomiting, it's just horrible. And then about half hour as he goes in, the devil comes in and says, okay, break's over, everybody back on your heads. So that's pretty much like how we thought about Dr. Ruth. Okay, is it as bad as a room where you're in human excrement up to your neck compared to a room where you're up to your waist? So yeah, no, they're all bad. They're all bad. Okay, but again, next to Jodie Whittaker, anybody seems like Laurence LeBloody Olivier, didn't they? Or Meryl Streep, I should say. Was it Martin Betrayal of the Future Doctor has delighted fans who didn't have to watch Jodie Whittaker for 10 seconds, who are eager to learn more about this previously unknown version of the Doctor. No. Has delighted fans. I mean, maybe 4 of them. This will certainly involve other mediums such as upcoming tie-in book miniseries and hopefully Big Finish's popular audio dramas. I think that will actually damage their other brands. I really do. But let's see what they're going to do with it. Nick Briggs has said he's already reached out to Jodie Whittaker and Mandip Gill. Okay, have fun with those ones, mate. But it's also quite possible the incoming showrunner Russ Lee Davies will choose, and the more they try to integrate it into the rest of Doctor Who, right, into the rest of the range, the worse it's going to be. I'm going to show Russell Lee Davies will choose to continue Dr. Ruth. Davis has been supportive of much of the Chibnall era. No, you utter moron. He hasn't. He's coming back because he's not supportive of it. He's been polite and professional. God, man, that's like grasping at straws, isn't it? Including the time to style retcon. So he may well choose to build upon this foundation. Or may not. Or may not. Amusingly, Joe Martin responded to tweets, but only with emojis, refusing to say more. Martin seems very good at keeping things secret. He even managed to hide the fact she was actually an incarnation of the Doctor from her own son. Nobody cared, right? No. Oh, I mean, Doctor. No, nobody cared. Okay, nobody cared. That's why all the secrecy that Chris Chibnall has is so ridiculous. Nobody cares about the garbage you do, mate. He only learned the truth when he was watching the episode with his mum. No doubt there are more twists in store for upcoming Doctor Who specials. One twist not in store. It's gonna suck, okay? It's gonna be awful. It's gonna be reviled, and the British public would rather, I think, put a big rusty spike up their arse. Yeah, I would say metaphorically. Then have to go through 2 more of these specials. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll be good. They're not gonna be good. They're not gonna be good at all. But time will tell. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.